Mayad nga agahon, coming to you live from Numancia, Aklan in the Philippines. First, I want to send my thoughts and prayers to all that's been affected by the floods in the Guadalupe River in Texas. I lived in San Antonio, Texas for 5 years in the 1990s, so I'm familiar with that area. I've actually gone kayaking in that area before. I just want to send my thoughts and prayers to the families that are affected by that because that's just so tragic. I've seen videos, I've seen pictures on Facebook, and just sad that a tragedy like that happened. Some things in life, nature, there's nothing we can do. I mean, you can have all the warnings, you can have all the things in place to protect from that, but sometimes tragedies just happen. Again, I just want to send my thoughts and prayers to all the families that are affected. All right, just getting started here. We came back from Iloilo City late in the afternoon yesterday. We were there from Monday to Thursday. Now it's Friday here. Just getting my bearings again. It was very hectic for us, the 4 days. Got a lot done, very productive for us time in Iloilo City. I was able to take my friend to to Medical City Iloilo, introduce them to Mom Marlene, my point of contact at Medical City Iloilo. And actually, my one friend had some medical conditions, so it kind of worked out because Mom Marlene was able to assist us. Walk-in appointment at Medical City Iloilo. No appointment at all. We just showed up. And Mom Marlene was able to assist us, so that was really nice. And she got the medical condition taken care of. Saw the doctor, got some prescriptions, so that was really good that we got that. We got that done. Hey Bon, hey, good morning, my brother. Kevin Shores. Hi Ginno, how are you doing? Just getting my day started here. Leanna doesn't have school today, that's why I started the live stream early. Usually I have to wait until I take her to school and when I come back. But she has no school today. It's Friday here, so she's happy. She's got a 3-day weekend. Just having my cup of coffee, my first cup of coffee here. And this morning, I'm having my cup of coffee this morning is this Nescafe French vanilla. My friend Ivan from Canada, he's been here now since May. He moved his family here. Ivan moved his wife and 2 kids. 4-year-old and 7-year-old kid to Iloilo City. The 7-year-old is now enrolled at Ateneo de Iloilo. And he brought me this. He brought me a Nescafe French vanilla from Canada. I was so touched by the gift because, those are the kind of gifts that matter to me because, there was some serious thought to this. And he carried this in his suitcase. To me, just very thoughtful. Very thoughtful of him to bring me some French vanilla, 3-in-1 French vanilla from Canada. And not only that, he brought me this too. He brought me, he knows that I like Sweet Baby Ray's, so he brought me like 2 bottles of Sweet Baby Ray's. One is like the regular one. This is what I buy normally at SNR. But this one, I've never tried this before. It's sweet and spicy, and you can even tell it's like from Canada because I don't quite can read. Looks like French. I'm not French speaking, so really touched by the gifts from Ivan. And this shirt I'm wearing. This shirt also came from Ivan. It's a body glove shirt from Canada. That's why it's like I really appreciate it when people. Those are gifts like mean so much to me. I know this shirt. I'll treasure the shirt. I'll wear it proudly. I'm gonna ration my Nescafe French vanilla coffee. It's like it says here how many pack. 18 sachets. So this is my first cup of the Nescafe French vanilla. Delicious, delicious. I'm liking it. I'm liking. So, and yesterday before we went back, Ivan and his wife and their youngest daughter, she's only 4. We went to breakfast together. Just great conversation. I've been communicating with Ivan before he even left Canada. Me and him would have video chats. He was just asking me different questions and about Iloilo because he was really focused on Iloilo City. They actually, when they first got here, they spent some time in Cebu City, but even Ivan told me he prefers Iloilo City than Cebu City because, like I had told him before, to me Cebu City is just too big. I mean, I know people that live there that like Cebu City. I'm not trying to say nothing wrong about them. If you're happy in Cebu City, that's great. But I think just the video that I just came out with, I said soft landing. Soft landing in the Philippines. To me, Iloilo City is just the best place for a soft landing. To me, it's the best city here in the Philippines. Cebu is just too big. It's traffic. You got to deal with traffic. It's not as clean, not as clean as Iloilo City. Iloilo City is just built correctly. The diversion road, the wide lanes, hardly any traffic. The only time you'll see traffic in Iloilo City is during rush hour. And during rush hour, that's anywhere if you're in a city, if it's rush hour, you're gonna see traffic. That's just the way it is, because kids are going to school. And government employees it's the same time, usually 7 to 8 in the morning, and then in the afternoon, 4 to 5 p.m. Pretty much any city you are, but the rest of the day, no traffic. You won't see traffic on the diversion road. It's easy going in Iloilo City. So he's happy. He's really happy. Like I said, he got his older daughter enrolled. Just great conversation. I know Ivan and I know we're gonna be good friends for a long time because we kind of bonded even before I met him in person. I can tell he's like a kind person. His wife's the same way, but great. It was fun. It was fun to hang out. And then on the way to when we left here, we picked up our friends from New Washington, Aklan. They're from Las Vegas, and that's the reason why we went to Iloilo City because my friend wanted to check out Medical City Iloilo, and I got a gift. I got a gift from my friend. It's like the most amazing gift I've gotten ever. I think I'm gonna treasure this gift. He gave me. This is called like a helmet bag in the military, and this is one. It says Tuskegee Airman, and it's like right there, Tuskegee Airman. And pilots carry this, and usually pilots would carry this, and this is where it's a helmet bag. This is where the pilots would keep their helmets on this bag while they're walking on the plane. They don't, it's kind of cool to have a bag to carry your helmet. So man, that's like I was like so touched, and like I was just amazed. I was like being in the Air Force, retired United States Air Force, it's like I'm an airman, I'm an airman myself. So to have a bag that says Tuskegee Airman, it's just so cool, so cool. That's why it was a great. I mean, that wasn't the only people that we met in Iloilo. So that's why I said I was just so. It was busy but productive. But very productive. My friend from Vermont, he also moved to Iloilo City with his family. He's got a 13-year-old daughter. They got to Iloilo City like 1st of July, so they've only been there, a couple of weeks. And also, his daughter's enrolled now at the Ateneo de Iloilo. Ateneo de Iloilo, that's one of the top private schools here in the Philippines. If you go to Ateneo, people know in the Philippines, oh wow, you go to Ateneo. A lot of eventual lawyers and politicians here in the Philippines, that's where they studied. is in Ateneo. Very exclusive private school. Probably the top private school that I know of in Iloilo City. That's why if you can get your kid in at Ateneo de Iloilo, you're gonna be happy that if you get your kid in a great education, your kid's gonna learn discipline. The kids are well behaved. Ivan was telling me like his daughter's 7. His daughter has a class on Chinese, Mandarin. A 7-year-old learning how to speak Mandarin. She's even saying words to him now in Chinese, so he has to like Google it and look up. And also, his daughter has a class on mannerism. It's like you just don't see those kind of classes. I know I went to school in the United States in high school. I never had a class on mannerism. There's not such a class on mannerism in the United States that I know of. But those are just the kind of things, if you're raising a kid, people say, why, it's like even with Ivan, even, when they were leaving Canada, why are you bringing your kid to the Philippines? There's better education in a developed country. But I just don't agree with that. It's, as far as like raising a good, kind-hearted child, it's like the Philippines is a great environment for that because kids here in school, they're well behaved. Even at Leanna's school, she goes to a public school here in Numancia Integrated School. Leanna's well behaved. She's kind. She's like humble. It's like the teachers, are the same. There's a community with teachers. There's like Leanna, when she eats lunch, there's teachers that eat lunch in the classroom with her. There's like a bond with people here. It's a community. It's not like I experienced it, when I went to school in the United States, 4 years at the Long Beach Wilson High. I graduated high school in Long Beach. It was just chaos, it's like you're going from one classroom to another. You got several sets of classmates. It's hard to connect with people. For me, my high school years, this was back in the 80s. I graduated in 1983 at Long Beach Wilson High. For me, it was just survival. I was this kid from the Philippines, thrown in with like a mixture of all different, background of kids. It's like I'm barely speaking English. I'm barely understanding English. It was a culture shock anyway for me. Slang, I was still picking up slang, and it was just rough. Kids are rough in the U.S., especially in high school. I don't know now, but I'm pretty sure it's about the same. And talking for Ivan, that was his concern too, was raising his kids in a good environment, in a good school where his kids will be well behaved and respect their teachers and all that. So he's real happy. I mean, Ivan's real happy with his decision to move his kids to the Philippines. And he's not Filipino. Ivan's not Filipino. So it's like same thing with my friend in Vermont. He's an American guy, So for them to be moving their kids to the Philippines, it tells me a lot of what's going. I haven't been to the U.S. in 14 years, so I don't know what's going on in the U.S. But for them to do that, that it tells me a lot. It tells me a lot of the situation that they were in. Hey, all right, Kim, my friend Kim I know, man. I know you've got your mattress. I know you're looking for a refrigerator and washer. Yeah, good luck, man. Several places in Calibo to buy that, my friend. And then message me, man, when you want to get together. Kim is moving here to Calibo. He was living in Romblon. He's also retired American here in the Philippines. Charlie Latz. All right. Hello, Ginno. Prayers to the ones who are suffering from the flesh. Thank you for saying that, Charlie. It's like I know the area. It's like I lived in San Antonio. It's only like an hour and a half from San Antonio. I've been to the Guadalupe River before, many trips. During kayaking, things like that. During my time, 5 years in San Antonio. So when I saw that, I was like, man, it's like That's why I'm sending my thoughts and prayers to the family. I just can't imagine that because so many kids perished. To me, that's like, man, that's such a heartbreak for parents. That's the one nightmare I know for parents. To lose a child. I can't even imagine that. Can't even imagine that. Obviously, oh yes, thank you, Charlie, thank you for your prayers. Great video on YouTube. I'll be sharing it with my wife. All right, Juan. I'm glad you enjoyed the video. Like I said, man, Iloilo City for me is the best city in the Philippines. I always enjoy going there. If I had to live in a city, if my priority is like my medical care, I mean, when I went through my cancer treatments, that's where we went. We stayed in Iloilo City for 4 months at the Uptown Place condominium because of the convenience. We didn't want to like travel to Aklan back to Iloilo, but I was already going to treatments. I wouldn't have the energy anyway. But if I had to live in a city, that's my choice. It's just it's easy to get around. I can walk around during the day. I can walk around at night, safe. I don't never feel threatened there. Because in Iloilo City, you'll be surprised. Like there by the Mandurriao area, the SM Strada, it's a big call center here in Western Visayas. Iloilo City is basically the hub for call centers. So the call centers are 24/7. So in the streets of Iloilo City, not all of Iloilo City now, just that area by the Manduria where most of the condominiums are, even by our hotel at the Injap Hotel, it could be 11 p.m. at night and they have these tables and chairs and all the call center people on the sidewalk. That's where they're eating. They got this karinderya, they're serving food. It almost reminds me a little bit of Thailand. When I go to Thailand, how in Bangkok, you're like, it could be midnight and you can walk the street of Thailand. There's places to eat and there's many people eating. That's the scenario. That's the scenario by the call center there, by SM Strada. Just almost 100 of like call center people. They're either getting off work or before work or their lunch break or something because call centers are like 24/7 operation here in the Philippines. But it's just got the whole city just has to, and you would think with all that stuff going on, you would think there would be a lot of trash in the city. Cleanest city, I mean, Iloilo City is always voted like the cleanest city in the Philippines. It's amazing. They got people sweeping, they got those big trucks, like garbage trucks like in the US that's open in the back and people just throw in the automatic hydraulic. They got those stuff here in Iloilo City. So I was like, wow, I'm just amazed. Every time I go, I'm impressed. And then now they're building a landers. There's already an SNR. Now they're building a landers. And while I was there, I was filming, and you'll see it in the next videos. They're building more condominiums. It's like they can't build condominiums quick enough in Iloilo City. I know you hear about condos being vacant in Manila. I'm not in Manila, so I couldn't tell you. BGC, I don't know what's going on with the condo here in BGC or in Makati. But in Iloilo City, condos are in demand. I mean, I had to help my friend from Pennsylvania. We toured Avida Towers, and then we toured One Madison. And man, you better jump on the condo or somebody else to take it. That's what the agent was telling my friend. But me and him had that discussion. So hopefully he makes his decision. But I think he found a condo. And again, he was the same. He was thinking Cebu City initially coming here. He got here like the 1 July. He got here on July, and Cebu City was his target. But I steered him to Iloilo City because I just think it's better. Soft landing. I think it's a better soft landing than Cebu City. I had a friend from Rhode Island. That's where he landed, Cebu, and he still lives in Cebu, in Wall, Cebu. But he stayed in Cebu City for 2 months. And my friend's a big guy. He's an army guy, and he said he never felt safe walking at night in Cebu City because just the his sixth sense, or like how you feel like threatened, even though there's nothing going on, you just don't feel safe. And so he said he just never felt safe in Cebu City. That's why he decided to move away from Cebu City and live in Moalboal, Cebu. But again, like I said, everybody's different. I know there's people happy in Cebu. I know Mactan, Newtown is a nice area in Cebu City. IT Park. There's good places there. But for me, if I had to pick between Cebu City and Iloilo City, hands down, I'll be like, sign me up for Iloilo City. That's the way I look at it. Kevin Shore, love me some sweet. Me too, man. I'm a sweet baby Ray's, man. I'll put sweet baby Ray's on chicken. I put it on beef. I even like on pork. I'll put a crock pot. I'll kind of like pulled pork. I'll put sweet baby Ray's and cook that pork like for hours and then shred it and then make sandwiches of it. I'm a sweet baby Ray's. Then my friend Ivan, he knew that. That's why he brought me the sweet baby Ray's from Canada. I thought you were in. I wish I had Tiger Woods money, man. It's like, but somebody had mentioned. I mean, I guess I look like a lot of people because somebody had mentioned to me that I look like Tiger Woods. I look like Gus Fring from Breaking Bad. I guess I got a common face. Oh, there's my friend Ivan. Thank you. Hey, man, I love the shirt, man. Fits me really nice. I got my. The French vanilla, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ivan. Really appreciate you, my brother. Justice Rats. Greetings from Germany. All right, all right. I have a few subscribers, few people that joined the live stream. Marcus is my other friend in Germany that joins the live stream. Welcome to the live stream. Arizona Bulldogs. All right. I lived in Tucson, Arizona, so I'm always a supporter of the Wildcats. My friend Kevin in Arizona, we're always like, he likes Arizona sports, and I do too, so he keeps me updated about Arizona Wildcats sports. Hey, HD, all right. HD's deleting some video. Good morning, HD. Good morning. Zia said hi. All right, Zia Desmore. Biggest support. Hey, Mark. What's up? Good morning, Mark. Good morning. The sun is coming up here. Oh, before I forget, man, I almost forgot the weather because I always have to talk about the weather report. Right now, there's no typhoons or anything like that. No weather condition affecting the Philippine area of responsibility. Mainly, it's the southwest monsoon, habagat. That's why pretty much the entire country, it's been raining more in Luzon. I know here in Aklan province, barely any rain. Yesterday, from the drive from Iloilo City to here to our house, we did see some rain, but it's just like normal thunders. Like it'll drop. Like I was driving, it would rain for like 15 minutes, and the next thing you know, it's sunny again. And that's how habagat is. It's like habagat is monsoon season. It will like downpour for like 30 minutes. And then it'll stop, and then it'll be sunny again. That's the weather here so far in July. And like I said, here in our Aklan province, we haven't been getting much rain, which is surprising. Usually this time of year, we do get more rain than from January to June. But I would say like that 1 week already, we've gotten hardly any rain here in Aklan province. Hey JP, all right, hey JP. I did go to SNR, and then let me show you, JP. And because I was filming the knives, for you, JP, because I saw they only had one set of knives and then another set of knives that I saw, and guess what? Dazzle ended up buying knives, and Dazzle ended up getting this set. It's called Tomodachi for their cooking show because it was on sale. It was a pretty good deal actually. It says here it's a 12-piece cutlery tomodachi. It even has a cutting board. It comes with a cutting board, knife, like a shear, scissors. Really good knives, I'm told. By my friend Steve said this was a good set of knives. It says there by Hampton Forge, and this set was I want to say $25, about $25 for this 12-piece cutlery set of tomodachi. So we ended up getting knives, JP. So they're gonna have new knives because Dazzle always just gets the. We have a place here in Calibo called Fus. Fus is like Fus. Fus is kind of like a bargain Chinese products, Tupperware, plastic, and knives. They got knives there, and they're bargain knives, so they don't really last. The handles on them break. The knife itself's not really sure. I mean, it's you get what you pay for. That's the thing with Fus. But this one looks like it's gonna be some solid knives for Dazzle and Mom for their cooking show. Because I told them, yeah, we'll get it because like if you're gonna do like the cooking show, you're gonna be slicing and dicing. It's like you need good knives. You need good knives. So we did, and I filmed this Tomodachi. I just forgot the other brand. The other brand actually had a buy one take one, and it was like it had a butcher knife. Like I think it had 4 or 5 knives in it. JP, American brand. I just forgot. I can't think of the brand, but it was buy one take one. So you for like $18 you get 2 sets. I was kind of tempted to tell Dazzle to get the other one because they would have gotten 2 sets of knives, but the Tomodachi just seems like it's more built nicer. It's like presented well. So I was like, and it attracted Dazzle because it's the dark color. So I said, all right, get that one. Yo, all right, yo, Tim C, my good friend in Las Vegas. Hello, Tim. Hello, Tim. All right, I gotta lower the blinds here because the sun is kind of like interfering with my eyesight. Man, that sun is bright. I had to like lower the blinds. It's just like blinding me. So it's gonna be a warm day. I got my fan going this time. I got a ceiling fan. I got a desk fan, but I can already tell it's pretty warm already, and it's not even 7 a.m. It's warm. And I wanted to get started today because after this live stream, I have to go to Calibo to Casa Española apartments because my friend Joel, they have friends that want to come here to Calibo in January for Atiatihan, and I think they're gonna stay about 3 months. So they wanted to get like a 1-bedroom furnished apartment in Calibo for 3 months. So I'll go there after the live stream. I'm gonna go to Casa Española. I've done a video on Casa Española. It's on our Calibo playlist. Nice apartments, furnished apartments. You wouldn't need anything if you go to Casa Española. All you need would be like your suitcase and backpack. It's got everything in it, including washer for your clothes, full-size refrigerator, like the stove, plates, cups, everything. Sheets, towels. You don't need to bring anything. It's kind of like an Airbnb, fully furnished. And it's a nice area of Calibo because it's walking distance from the new Grand Gaisano. And during Atiatihan, it's away from Pastrana Park because during Atiatihan, the festival, the 10 days, if you're near Pastrana Park, you're not going to get much sleep because the festival is loud throughout the day, throughout the evening, fireworks at night. It's a celebration for like 10 days. And my friend Joel's friends, they wanted to be away from all that festivities, all that celebration. So that's why I told him, La Casa Española would be the place to stay. And I'll check. And they wanted to secure it because that's another thing. If you're planning to come to Calibo, here in Aklan, Boracay even, if you're planning to come here in January, because of the Ati-Atihan Festival, you better make reservations way in advance. If it's like if you're making reservations like 30 days before or maybe 60 days before, uh, it's gonna be hard to find reservations, especially in Calibo. Calibo, a lot of the hotels in Calibo for Ati-Atihan during the 10 days of Ati-Atihan, do not be surprised if they start charging you 4 times. Like if the hotel normally charges $25, in January they will charge 100. Maybe that's why, maybe now you're far ahead, you might be able to get it still at a decent price, but nearing January, come end of November, December, they're gonna ask for a lot more for those hotels because it's in demand. Many people all across the world, all across the Philippines, come to Calibo for Ati-Atihan. It's like it's the mother of all Filipino festivals. It's the most. I mean, they might have more people attending Sinulog in Cebu because the amount of people in Cebu City. But to me, it's more personal, like in Calibo, because the whole town of Calibo shuts down, and the whole celebration is they encourage participants. Like if it's not one of those where you just sit and watch the festival or watch the parade. It's more like Mardi Gras in New Orleans is what Ati-Atihan is about. It's like you can dance in the street, you can drink on the street. You can wear costumes, you can do anything you want. I've seen people like adults wearing like those Depends diaper, and that's the only thing they're wearing on the on the festival. It's like craziest things that it's like Mardi Gras, like like if you go to Mardi Gras in New Orleans, like I was stationed in Louisiana for 4 years, so I went to like 4 Mardi Gras during my time there. You just see stuff that you normally see, and that's the same thing in Calibo for Ati-Atihan. Doc came here and was shocked how school. My wife came here at 8 and was shocked how school was. Yes, me too. I mean, for me, I was shocked, but I was kind of expecting anything. For me, I was 12 when I moved to the U.S. So from kindergarten till I graduated elementary school, I went to Letran College in Intramuros, Manila. It's an all-boys Catholic school. So I went from an all-boys Catholic school, very strict, we're well-behaved, we prayed a lot, we had mass during lunchtime, we had rosary during October. I went from that very rigid to all of a sudden I was in like Long Beach Wilson High, and it's a public school. It's like chaos. People wearing flip-flops to school, shorts, board shorts to school. Kids running around yelling at the hallway. It's like I never had that. In school. In Letran, we couldn't yell in the school. I don't think you're allowed to yell at the school. They're very strict. The people that run the old boys Catholic school. We had uniforms. I had a uniform, white shirt, and then I had a pocket here with my school patch. I wore khaki shorts, and then I wore leather shoes with socks. We all dressed alike. And so I went from that to like going to public school in Long Beach. I mean, it was I survived it. That's all I can say. I was quiet, when I moved to the U.S. because a lot of things I couldn't understand. I spoke English and I understand English, but some of the language that I heard in the hallways and in the classrooms, I've never heard the slang. It's like, and kids are just the one thing I always tell people, like when they come here and they complain about, Filipinos don't really understand English. It's not that they don't understand English. You have to realize if you're an American, you're a foreigner from another country, your English is fast. The way you speak is fast for a Filipino. But if you slow down the way you talk, they'll understand you better. It's just that, you don't realize how Americans, they talk fast. In the Philippines, when we learn English in school, uh, it's not that fast. The English language is not spoken so fast, and then you throw in slang in there. It's really hard to understand for a Filipino. But a lot of Filipinos, they have English class here in the Philippines, like even Leanna, from kindergarten all the way to high school and college. But it's one class usually, and then they do teach in English. But again, they don't get that exposure to like American speaking in English. But now that I'm working with Leanna, her English is like getting spot on. She's really, she's being more confident now. When we hang out with expats, Leanna can understand the expats now. And I notice she's even talking more to the expats now. She's gaining confidence in her English. The slang term bucks was conspiracy. She didn't know it meant money. Oh yeah, I mean there's just so many slang words, like that's not in the English dictionary, or that we learned in school when I was going to private school here. When you go, when you go to and I went to Long Beach, Los Angeles, that's another culture, that's another, the street language in Long Beach. Different. It took a while to get used to. Welcome back, Mr. Weatherman. Hey, Vegasville. Hey, I got your comment earlier. Thank you, Vegas. Yeah, we're back. Just getting situated here. I'm glad Leanna doesn't have school today, because that's one taking her there, picking her up, and then I can run to the Casa Española apartments this morning. Hey, another Spencer. Hi, from Puerto Rico. All right, Puerto Rico. I have a good friend from Puerto Rico. We served in the military. He's retired Air Force too. His name is Freddy Colon. My good buddy, Freddy Colon. Here equals us, by the way. Here. That would even confuse her. Another term would be Benjamins. Yeah, like you said there, HD. It's like money could mean dough, Benjamins. There's so many slang. And when I remember when I went to high school, kids spoke slang. It's not like, so there was words like a lot of times I would just kind of smile or just kept quiet until I learned like what they meant. Until I made friends, and then I would ask them, what did that mean? What did that guy say? And then slowly I got adjusted. But to me, high school in the U.S., it was just survival. I was like, I had good grades. That was never the issue, academic wise. The school that I went to in the Philippines was a lot better than the public school in the U.S. So my math, science, everything I'm ahead with my classmates. But it was the English that was like my and then of course you can't avoid the bullying, because you're a foreign kid. They don't know what I was, what's a Filipino. Some of them is like they kind of lump us with Asians, like they think Filipinos, Cambodians, Laos, we're all the same, so they kind of lump you. So I did have Cambodian friends. I remember they were refugees that went to Long Beach. I became friends with them because I kind of like got lumped with them, But I survived it. That's why the military actually, if anything, that was the one that really built my confidence. I was 17 when I joined the United States Air Force, and then for the first time when I was in the U.S., once I got into the military, I felt that brotherhood. I felt that it didn't matter what race I was. It didn't matter I'm Filipino. It's like we were all on equal terms in the military, and I like that. When I was in high school, like I said, it was just survival. I was just like I was just worried about getting bullied. I stood my ground. I didn't take crap from nobody, but you were always worried about it, and we were afraid to get into fights because that's not what we do. It's like we didn't want to like get in trouble in school. I didn't want to give my mom any headache, so I was just, there were times where I felt, like they make fun of you or bully you, but I just like go the other way. I didn't need that trouble. I didn't need that trouble. Hello, Noctary Gaming Crew. All right, HD. Awesome to see you here. All right, JB. Iloilo is for me. All right, Daniel. My good friend from Jacksonville, Florida. What's up? What's up, Daniel? Hello, everyone, and the Panay Posse. All right. Iloilo is where I want to retire, but convincing my wife we're ready to retire has proven impossible thus far. I have noticed that. I think I've mentioned it before on a live stream or on a video. I have noticed that, and I have friends right now. I even have Filipino American friends like me. I feel that they're a Filipino couple in the U.S. What I've seen is a lot of the guys want to move back to the Philippines, but a lot of their wives do not. Filipino wives, a lot of them do not. And I can kind of understand because you bring your family to the U.S. They get used to the American lifestyle. All the conveniences are there. It's like. And then there's always that, I know there's always the Filipino wives always worry about coming here to the Philippines about their husband looking another way. If you know what I mean, they're looking for another Filipina, or that's another thing. That's why I can't blame the Filipino wives for not wanting to either their Filipino husbands back here or even an expat back here, because that has happened. I've seen that scenario before where expat comes here to the Philippines, and next thing you know, they're not together with the Filipina wife, and the expat's got a girlfriend. I've seen that scenario here, so I can understand the worry of the Filipinas, that they prefer the U.S. Than the Philippines. Good morning, Ginno and Dazzle. All right, JB, my good friend in Sydney, Australia. What's up? Hello, Chad. Glad to be here. Although I will be leaving before this. Oh, no worries, HD. No pressure at all. If you're available, you're available. If not, no. And that's why, even the live streams now HD, I'm just gonna do them random. I'm not gonna schedule them anymore because I kind of don't like having schedule. It's like when I schedule something always happens that I got to be somewhere else. I got to get Leanna, so when I'm free, when I have free time, like right now I'm free, I have free time, I'll just pop a live stream when I'm free. That's kind of how I approach my life anyway. I like just going with the flow. I'm no longer so rigid military. Everything's on time. Everything's on schedule. I guess I've been retired now for 14 years. I've adapted to the retired way of living. The island time. I love island time. By the way, to me, it's the best time. Is island time. When I say island time is just like whatever time happens, or we'll meet when we meet. It's like. The minute here in the Philippines, what will frustrate you if you do a meetup with someone and you say it's like 9 a.m. You'll be lucky if they show up at 9:30. And me, I'm military. I still carry, I'm always early for an appointment. I'm always early for a meetup. So it can get frustrating. That's why now I try not to schedule meetups with people. I just tell them, I'm gonna be in, like when we were in Louis City, I'll just tell him, Dazzle and I will be at SM City, Iloilo. I'm gonna be at Starbucks from about 9 to 11. If you're there, if you make it, you make it. If you're not, no big deal, because I can chill there for 2 hours, drink coffee, answer messages, edit a video, and if somebody shows up, hey, what's up? But if not, no big deal, no big deal. A prepared community at the library. First time doing so. Whether I'll be teaching. Oh, okay, all right. I want to support the local right. All right, good, man. They need that. They need that, HD. That's one thing I know in the U.S. that people were so focused on going to college and earning a degree in college. We lost a lot of that, mechanical or machinery or electrical, the vocational welding. I know that's like, there was a generation where they chose college, and we lost like the people that can build things. Right to repair movement advocates consumer rights to fix their own products or have them repaired by independent shop rather than. I noticed there are many carinderias in Calibo, but not many have good Google Maps picture. I'll be busy. All right. All right. Yeah, you'll be, the carinderias here is what you'll see when you get here, JP. A lot of them, they change so fast. A carinderia will open, they'll last about a year at the most, and then they'll close, and then somebody else will take over, new name. It's there are a few that hang for many. I guess people get burned out. The carinderia, it's hard work because if you open a carinderia, your work, they serve usually by 6 a.m. They got food out already for jeepney drivers, tricycle drivers. So they got to go shopping early and cook early to be ready at 6 a.m. And if you have to have a carinderia morning, lunch, and dinner, man, you could be working 16-hour days, shopping at the market, cooking, selling, hard business to be in. Tomodachi. All right. Yeah. I remember the word tomodachi. I've heard it before. I think I had a tomodachi pet, at one time, one of those digital tomodachi pet. You put it on your keychain and you're just like, to press it, you're supposed to feed it at a certain time. A digital pet. At one time, I had a tomodachi pet. Companies make repairing their devices impossible by using proprietary tools and stuff. Right to repair community days. I should be able to fix my own. Yeah, and see that I know the US has lost that just by being here in the Philippines. Here in the Philippines, when you get here, there is nothing that they can't repair here. I mean, they don't even need the same parts. It could be like a Samsung, LG, whatever, washing machine or electric fan. They'll replace parts with they'll just take it from junk parts. Everything gets repaired here, from electric fans to the laundry machine, vacuum cleaner, radios. I mean, nothing. There's a place here in Calibo, shopping area, where they repair shoes. They repair shoes. If your shoes get blown out somehow. Like I had one shoe where the bottom, after a while, I guess the glue on it, it peeled. So you know what they did with the shoe? They sewed it. And so now it's better than the original. Before it was just glue. They actually hand sewed the shoe. So there's nothing that they don't repair here. It really has to be in bad shape or something before they throw it out. I mean, people don't throw things out here. It's like there's places here like junkyards where they'll just keep different pieces from different stuff because they know they can use it to repair something. Thanks, HD. All right, JP's fault. Ended up shop. Well, Dazzle shops anyway, man. That's her thing. When we go to Iloilo City, it's like I want Dazzle to have fun when we go there. So it's not when we're on vacation, we're on vacation. We know how to enjoy. We're frugal, in a lot of ways, but things like this knife set, I know we'll get many years of use for it. And then with the Dazzle and Mom's cooking show, I know they're gonna get plenty of use. Gonna be happy that they're like, oh man, this thing cuts well, because like I said, the stuff that we get are foos. The Chinese products, they're terrible. You'll be slicing something, next thing you know, the handle comes off, or where the screws or pops out. I'm like, what the heck, man? But it's cheap. It's cheap Chinese products, so you can't really ask for it. You get what you pay for. You get what you pay for. Those look awesome. I have Henkels for at least 30, but don't want to fly. Oh, I didn't see that. I didn't see the Henkels, JP. There was only two brands, but Tomodachi was one, and then the other one was an American brand. It's on the video. I'll include it on the next video. I'll just maybe at the end of it I'll include I only filmed a couple of things at at SNR, because you're the only one that said wanted to see the knives. I've filmed like the meat department before and all that, so I didn't go around filming. I think I filmed maybe like three items. I think I filmed one. I filmed because it was kind of odd. I've never seen it before. That's why I filmed it. They had a gun vault. Like one was a 8 like shotgun gun vault, and the other one was like a big vault. Like 12 gun, like you can put 12 shotguns in there. So I filmed that because I was like, I've never seen this before here. And then I filmed like a playground for kids, a plastic playground with swings and everything. I've never seen that there before. So I guess they're bringing more stuff. No, I'm sure they're like bringing new stuff, so it'll be like new to the eyes of the customer. And then the tires. I just noticed when I was walking one of the aisles, they had so many tires at SNR. I mean, like to the ceiling. I mean, we're talking like, I would say 20-foot high of tires, different sizes of tires. So same thing at Costco. I'm sure they got those tires. That's why. The funny thing is that Tomodachi knife brand is actually Chinese. It's one of the ways to trick people, spend a higher end price. Yeah, I did see that. HD, that it's made in China, but it looks like it's good quality though. That's why I looked at it. So they didn't trick me. I knew it's made in China, but I just looked at it and I could tell it's like good quality, because I noticed that with Chinese products. In China, I guess there's like, even here in the Philippines, we understand that Chinese products, there's like the cheap Chinese products, and then there's Chinese products that they call here in the Philippines export quality. I guess export quality to us here. So not all Chinese products are bad here in the Philippines, but but there are some good stuff too. There's some good stuff too. Same thing with iPhones. A lot of iPhones now are like, the parts, the stuff are made in China, but they're good iPhones. I mean, it's not like they're terrible phones. So they did not trick me. I knew that. I knew, because when I buy products, when I'm at SNR, I'm always looking to where they came from, because SNR is supposed to be imported products. So I'm always looking where they came from. Hey, bud, just bought it tickets for November. All right. Father-in-law is building a place on the beach. No, New Washington. All right. All right. I have another friend. Actually, I have to check on the build. They were building a house in New Washington. Same thing, ocean front. I actually know the builder. I met the builder. I had coffee with the builder because, but at the time, a few months ago, they haven't even laid the foundation down. I told the builder, once you got walls up, once you get more definition on the house, I'll come out and film the house, because they said it was right on the ocean by New Washington. You'll be in. All right, Dr. Pooper. All right, all right. I have many friends. Like a lot of expats are moving to New Washington. My friend Steve, they got a house there. Eugene, his wife runs a carinderia, like a restaurant there. Lots of people moving to. And then my friend that's building. I mean, they're building a big house. This is not a small house that they're building. That's why I got the number of their builder, the architect builder. So I'll message it. We're friends on Facebook. So I'll ask him how is he on the. I remember telling him I was going to contact him in July and then maybe film the house, because my friend in the US, a subscriber contacted me. They wanted to show their house that they're building, because if I remember correctly, his wife is in a wheelchair. So the house is being built like a wheelchair access. So that would be kind of cool to show that they're building a house, that the house is like wheelchair accessible to every part of the house. And it's a big house. It's not like a tiny house. They're building, I think they're building like a 700, 800 square meter house. It's a gigantic, the plans that the guy showed me, I was like, wow, this is a mansion. So I'm eager to film that house in New Washington. Good morning, Mom Janet. Good morning, Mom Janet. All right. Hey, finally got. All right. Thank God. I finally got the AC going. I know that was a struggle not having air conditioning. Good to hear that, Mom Janet. Michael C. Hey, my good friend in Tresem Martires. All right. Good morning, bro. What's up? Have a one. We will. You know, this weekend I'm planning not to do much. Resting. It was a pretty hectic time in Iloilo City. I mean, between the taking my friends to the hospital, between finding the guy from Pennsylvania, Condo, meeting up with the couple from Vermont, and meeting the couple from Canada. It was just like the 4 days just flew by. And then, of course, we had to do our own shopping, SNR trip. Dazzle went to SM City, Iloilo. You know, it's like we ate at a seafood restaurant by Coastal there in Haro where they had the paluto. Paluto is like the live seafood and they'll cook it the way you want it. So it was just a hectic 4 days. I mean, I was just amazed how fast it went. And of course, when you're not in your own bed, you know, when you're in a hotel, you don't sleep as well. You know, I didn't sleep. I tried to get maybe 5 hours, 6 hours a night, but I couldn't sleep well. I'm just not used to it. You know, uh, sleeping in a different bed. The right to repair is trying to get the government to stop what's going on. Apple is among those companies that prevent you from. Yep. It's good. It's crazy how they get away with that. I've been following for a while. It's getting there, but very slowly. All right, JB. Yes, they brace the short line to seal it. $1,700 costs for free as well. Mm, expensive repair there, Mom Janet. Louis Rossman is among the people. He's pushing repair. All right. I know, JB. I like that. I like that, JB. It felt that, man. I remember. I mean, looking back, you know, especially my freshman year of high school. I remember it was like, wow. You know, it was just a culture shock. You know, here I was coming from so rigid school uniforms, getting your hands smacked, or you know, like punishment. You know, we have punishments when I was in elementary school to like all of a sudden Thunderdome. That's what it. I know. No, you know, everybody wearing whatever they want to wear. You know, Long Beach back then. You know, it's like I said, it's Long Beach. We were close to the ocean. There was kids wearing their board shorts. You know, from they might have been surfing that morning and went to school. You know, after surfing, it was just like hair all like messed up, like they just come out of the beach. You know, like the rinse off at the beach and they're going to school. I was like. It was Thunderdome. It was Thunderdome, man. What a costly journey. Next Sabtas Village, grandson amusement. Oh, nice! Amusement park. All right. That sounds like fun. That sounds like fun, my mom Janet. In my all right. But I believe your voice to text. Oh, it's bugging out. Okay, all right. I was trying to figure out. Greetings from another person from Germany. All right, welcome to the live stream. Thank you very much, Timmy. Yeah, it's okay now. It's okay now, Vaughn. All right, all right. All right, take care, Mom Janet. Have a good day. Stay blessed, Mom Janet. Daniel, Oktoberfest in Germany, the largest party on the globe. Tens of thousands drunk and not one bite. Hey, it's like that's good. That's good, Daniel. I mean, even here in Atiatihan in January, they've had a few incidents, of course, but with the amount of drinking going on at Atiatihan, I mean, they start drinking in the morning, afternoon, at nighttime. With all the drinking going on all the day, very minimal incident. I mean, it's heavily secured. It's like there's like thousands of police and thousands of military people. So you do not want to mess around at Atiatihan. That's one thing. They have made. There was one year they had an event where they had the bands actually got into argument. There was a fist fight and all that, but I don't think that's going to ever happen again. I think the mayor made sure that he talked to all the bands that were participating in this year's Ati-Atihan. He warned them that he was not going to be lenient if they did something with Ati-Atihan, like make a scene at Ati-Atihan this year. And no incidents that I know of this year. And it was just heavy security this year. I've never seen Ati-Atihan like that, with so many police, so many army, cops. I mean, just they were everywhere in Ati-Atihan. You did not want to make a fool out of yourself in Ati-Atihan. You didn't want to get arrested. You know, they were not messing around in Ati-Atihan this year. Got to feed them. All right, all right. Even me, I grew up in Sydney and went to Hawaii for vacation. Caught the bus and couldn't understand the bus driver because of the thick. Yes, right. You know, that's the thing. You know, in Long Beach, you know, that's why I said, you know, my 4 years of high school. On my senior year, I was opening up more because I could start understanding the slang. I had more friends, of course. But, you know, the first couple of years going to high school, I was just quiet. I was just focused on my academics. I was just focused on learning, making sure I had good grades. And I did all 4 years. I was an honor student. And then I was just like, as far as fun in school, that wasn't in my, you know, my thinking. I just wanted to survive high school. And then I remember when I turned 15 till I joined the military, 15, 16, I worked at Taco Bell. So I was more focused on that. And that opened me up to more people. I had more friends. My friends at Taco Bell, just because we were there about the same age kids working at Taco Bell. So they became my friends. More my friends than the kids in school. Kids, like I said, like JP was saying, kids, the kids in high school for me, they were rough, man. You know, you were always afraid to get bullied. You know, you were always afraid to, like, you had to stand up for yourself. But the minute they see that you're not gonna back down, you know, it's like they really don't mess with you. I think they just want to test you whether you're like that they can bully you. But if they know they can't bully you, you know, it's like they leave you alone. No worries. I double check with people. That sometimes pulling the trigger quickly affects the channel negatively. Good morning, Ginno from Ormoc. All right, Ormoc, my skating geezer. I know you're from Ormoc. I added you to my brain. Like, I know when I see skating. Oh, he's the guy at Ormoc. Ginno was processing paperwork in the Air Force hospitals. Yes, I was. My job in the military was what did they? Was hospital administrative specialist. So basically, anything that had to do with paperwork in the hospital. I worked in the records department, admissions to the hospital. I work at the wards taking care of inpatient records. I work in supply, ordering medical supplies, pretty much anywhere. Or I worked in the orderly room. Orderly room is kind of like personnel, HR. So I maintain files on all hospital personnel. And then my last job, I worked in medical readiness. Medical readiness, I was in charge. I was the NCOIC of medical readiness. I was in charge of deploying people. Making sure they're ready to deploy, checking their bags, checking their gear, make sure if I had to deploy somebody, they have all their wheel, their dog tags, their Geneva Convention card, their weapon, make sure they can sign out a weapon, bullets for the weapon, you know. There's like a laundry list of stuff that I had to make sure they had before I deployed them. But it was a fun job. And then part of medical readiness, we had a lot of exercises on base, and I was always on the team working in the command post, the base command post. And then we had a control center in the hospital. When we have war games in the military, we had decontamination. You know, we had to wear suits like full mask, chem suits, So we had hospital was always in charge of decontamination. People that got contaminated, we had tents where we had to wash people, make sure they're not contaminated. It's just a whole gamut. It was a fun job. I mean, busy job in the military, high pressure. My last 4 years in the military was a high pressure job because the commanders never want to look bad during exercises. And then deployment, of course, you don't want to send somebody deploying without all their stuff together. Hello, Chuck E. Cheese. All right, Chuck E. Cheese. Wandering Eye. All right. Nice. I was intel in the Air Force. Love seeing. All right, Dr. Pooper. My another Air Force brother. Me too, man. It's like when I meet people here in the Philippines that served in the military, doesn't have to be Air Force, Navy, Army. There's just a brotherhood between veterans, U.S. military veterans, because we have our stories, and then it's fun. It's fun. They always tease me, the chair force. That's kind of like what they call us, the chair force. But it's all good. I don't mind being called a chair force because I'm proud of 20 years in the U.S. military. The razzing, the harassing, all that among military people. It's just talk. It's just giving each other a hard time. I know it's nothing personal. It's just fun. It's just fun. Because we can relate to each other. We know, anybody that served in the United States military know how difficult it is. I respect any veteran. I respect any person that joined the military because it is not easy. I don't care what service you join in the military. It is not easy to be in the military in the United States. You put water into a bottle and it becomes the bottle. You put in a teapot, it becomes a teapot. Now, water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend. Be water, my friend. All right, hello. The heart of our home. Hi, Ginno from Oceanside. All right, Oceanside. I've been there. I've been to Oceanside near the San Diego area. Some of my friends doesn't feel like coming back to the Philippines. Most of them are used to their lifestyle here. For me, yes, and that that's common actually for Filipinas because I know I have few friends in the U.S. Filipina couple. They're married. They've been in the U.S. 20, 30, sometimes 40 years. And it seems like it's always the guy that wants to come back here, kind of like relive the life here in the Philippines. But the wives are the ones that seem to be more skeptical because it's a big leap. It's a big leap going from the U.S. to the Philippines. You're giving up. I always tell people when you're coming from the US to the Philippines, you're giving up a lot of luxury, a lot of convenience, a lot of efficiency. You have to have a lot of patience here in the Philippines. That island thing I mentioned earlier, island time, going with the flow. To me, it works because I'm retired. I'm patient. I guess what I can say is I lower my expectation here. I guess that's a good way for me to say it. It's like when I go to hotels here, restaurants, fast food, the bank, or anywhere I go that I'm expecting service, I have lower expectations. I don't expect it to be like efficient like it was when I lived in the United States. I think that's one, that's why I'm able to not stress over it. It's like when I go to the grocery, I am expecting that when I go to the checkout line, there might be 5 people in front of me. I might be standing in line for 30 or 45 minutes before I get to the cashier. And I'm okay with that because that's just the way I think. It's like, to me, I guess because I've been here 14 years, so it's normal to me now. It's like I can see how that could be like my friend Steve what told me they live here now in New Washington. They're from Las Vegas, so they decided to open a bank account. One of the banks here in Calibo, so they decided Nova's she's dual citizen, now I think she's dual, but she got her senior card here, and they went to the bank to open a bank account. And Steve, he's an American, typical American. He said, man, that was like the most horrible experience. We were there for 5 hours just to open a bank account, and Steve is like, he's got, he can't sit for a long time. Like I'm the same way. If I sit for like a couple of hours, getting up is hard. Like I don't have back issues or knee issues, but like that's what always teases me. When it's time, if I sit, like when I'm driving for 4 hours, when it's time for me to get out of the car, I'm like, I'm making sounds. And that's what always, oh, you're making that old man sound again. She gives me a hard time with that. But you have to, you have to bring patience. And for me, like I said, the way I've been able to adjust is I've just always lowered my, like if I check into a hotel and they advertise, and it has happened to me before. We have checked in there. I looked online, go Agoda, I check out the hotel. I said, ooh, they got Wi-Fi, they got hot water. Okay, I'm good. It's like, and I look, $25 or $30. Okay, perfect. It's like, that's within budget. So I signed up for the hotel. And then when it's time for me to check in, I get to the hotel. Their hot water doesn't work. Their internet doesn't work. That doesn't upset me because I almost kind of expect it. There's always, or if their bathroom, their sink, or their toilet, something's dripping, something, to me, it's like, that's kind of what, I guess I lower my expectations here. And of course, Americans, when they come here, they want what they see at Agoda, $30, all this, they want everything to work. It's just the way, that's how we think when we're in the United States. And I understand that. But to me, it's like those little things. I know for some that move here, some foreigners that move here, it kind of snowballs because it's like, if it's one thing, it's another. But for me, I've just learned to like, just accept it. I guess, like I said, I just lower my expectations here. Come on, Sergeant Ginno, stick it in, get information, bring back any thoughts. Hey Tanya, hey, I remember Tanya. I was filming. I didn't feel like eating bok choy, Tanya, because I eat bok choy here, And then when I was filming bok choy, I did film a little bit like the outside of like the Ted's Old Timers bok choy. They have that same thing here in Calibo, and I've eaten at Ted's before. Ted's Old Timer La Paz bok choy. So, and I eat bok choy all the time, and the weather wasn't, I wasn't feeling bok choy. I know you wanted me to eat bok choy, show you bok choy. Maybe I'll just film the Old Timers bok choy here when it's time, because I like bok choy when it's raining, when it's cooler. When it's hot, man, it's hard to eat bok choy when it's hot because you start sweating. It's like. But they did, they do have that. Bok choy is pretty common here in Panay Island. It's not like, Iloilo City is known for La Paz bok choy, but pretty much it's spread out to Panay Island and even outside Panay Island. Like Decos, I know Decos La Paz bok choy, the original is in Iloilo City, but they have branches now, even in Manila, Cebu City, they have branches, they have branched out. It's become a franchise. Have you tried the new No, we haven't. We haven't tried. I just filmed the new eateries. I know I'll try the lugaw one of these days when it's like rainy day, or if one of us gets sick, at least we have a place to get lugaw now. You don't have to make your own lugaw. And then the other restaurant, we haven't tried it. You might hit it for like merienda. See if they have merienda one of these days. They just recently opened. When I actually filmed that video, I was like, "Whoa, man, there's a new place here." That happens, like I said earlier, the carinderia, eateries, they'll open, then all of a sudden they'll close. Then somebody will take over, new management or new business. Like that Debbie's snack bar. It's called Debbie's Snack Bar. That used to be the Pudding Cafe. The Pudding Cafe closed, so now it's Debbie's Snack Bar. But it's the same building, same setup. Haha, that's funny. Wife sends all of our broken to her brother in Bataan. Right? That's it. It's here in the Philippines, they laptops, anything here they can fix, because they can always open it up, And then if there's a piece that doesn't work, they'll remove that piece. If it's like a Samsung thing, they'll replace it with whatever piece that's similar, and they'll replace it. I mean, if you go to like the shopping area in Calibo, you can see they have electric shops there where guys are like opening stuff up and soldering and doing, there's nothing that they can fix pretty much anything here. If they can't fix it, then it's ready to be junk or for parts, for other parts. Yes, correct. They even fix an umbrella. Like I said, they fix my shoe. Any shoe. It could be like tennis shoes, rubber shoes. It could be leather shoes. They can repair anything. They got and it doesn't cost much. Because I've done a video where they sold my tennis shoes, and I think I paid like 150 pesos, less than $3 for them to fix my shoe. If anything breaks, you can find somebody that will fix it here. Old-fashioned oatmeal. Wasn't there a Tomodachi restaurant at Masawa? Down. It's been a long time for me, man. I left Misawa in 2004, so it's been 21 years. I'm not recalling. Many things from Misawa anymore. I just remember. I remember the cheese roll place. It's like fried lumpia cheese inside. That was really good. That was my favorite. The ramen shops, of course. And then I remember coming out one of the gate, not too far from it, there was a Yakiniko Viking. That's what I remember most because all you can eat yakiniko, like all the meat, you cook it on your table on that little charcoal grill. All you can eat food, that Yakiniko Viking is what I remember at Misawa. And then the onsen, of course. I love the onsen. Onsen in northern Japan, anyway, it's where you go in there and it's a hot bath. The male section, female section are separated. So you're going to go into the hot bath just with males in there. And first you sit in this tiny stool kind of chair. You can shave. There's a mirror in front of you. You can shower, shampoo, soap. And you're supposed to take a shower clean anyway before you can go into like the onsen. It's like hot water. There's like hot water. There's ice water. There's a sauna. And then there's that water with the electric current. It's just like, it's great for the body. It's like I remember after each of our military exercises, we usually have like 4 or 5 days of military exercises. You're so worn down from like wearing your chem gear, flak vest, helmet, carrying patients on the litters. Your muscles ache, and like the onsen was like perfect. Hoping, trusting that they can repair my Daniel. Well, it's like I said, Daniel, my advice, just take your time when it comes to that. When it comes to meeting the Filipina here, man, take your time. Make sure it's the right Filipina, watch out for all the red flags. I'm sure you watch videos. There's a lot of red flags. Make sure you know the Filipinas family, the background. It's like if anything, like I always say, meeting the right Filipina here, that will make or break you here as far as making it in retirement. It could be a glorious, happy life, or it could be miserable life here. It has a lot of bearing. Your Filipina has a lot of bearing, the Filipina that you meet here. So important to take your time. What's the best airline to get from Manila to Calibo? The only one I can find is Cebu Airline. From Manila to Calibo, Philippine Airlines doesn't even fly now. I think the only airlines that you got now is Cebu, Pacific, and Air Asia. And nothing against Air Asia. I've never had luck with Air Asia. Every time I ride Air Asia, I'm always delayed with them. So I guess Cebu Pacific, if you're flying to Calibo. There's Philippine Airlines if you're flying from Manila to Caticlan. And then Caticlan is another hour and a half to Calibo. Yeah, they have strict luggage limits. Yeah, that that's airline to airline here. I know they're very strict on luggage, but like my friend when he was here, he came from Thailand. He flew to Boracay in Boracay Airport in Katiklan. He had a lot of luggage, but he was willing to pay. I think that's the thing. It's like if you're traveling with a lot of heavy equipment, a lot of heavy suitcases, you can fly with them, but you just have to pay. But they're really restrictive, especially like on the some of them on the carry-on. Sometimes the carry-on you're only allowed like 7 kilograms. Really light carry-on. Yeah, I guess they don't want everybody just carrying all their suitcases like carry-on. But that's airline to airline. You would have to check. But I do know, I have friends that have traveled here with a lot of suitcases. You just have to pay extra. That's one of the best way to reduce garbage, repairing electronics and owning farm animals to feed the scraps. Part of it would be compost, rest burn. Yeah, a lot of people do that here, especially here in the province. If here in the subdivision, of course, we're not allowed to have farm animals, but the minute you go outside the subdivision, the boss rooster. I'm filming the boss rooster. They're, our neighbors outside of the gated community. They have pigs, they got chickens, roosters, rabbits, you name it. Stricter in the gated community. We're not allowed to have any farm animals here. But we do segregate. That we are required to segregate our garbage. That's why we have like 4 containers here. We have like the compost, we have the plastic, the paper, and the cans. So they get picked up at a different date. So we have like a group chat in our community. They'll say, okay, today is a compost pickup. So we have to take our container outside and they pick the compost item. And then today is plastic day. So we take out, so they do that here in our community. Very strict, actually. They're very strict about segregating our garbage here. In 7 months, your heart will be on its way for the healing. All right. Well, yeah, for sure, for sure. And I'll help Daniel. Daniel's plan is to come here to Panay Island. So when he gets here, I'll keep an eye on Daniel. I'll make sure, I'll what I do with people that I meet, that I communicate with, they share, personal stuff, and I keep that private, but I try to keep an eye, I don't mind warning people when I see something. If they're dating somebody, I can just give a little hint that, a little bit of red flag, but it's still up to, the Daniel, up to the people that come here. And I have friends now that, that tell me they appreciate my honesty. They appreciate me telling it like it is, because I've had a few friends that it's one thing to say that you're gonna avoid the red flags, or you're gonna I try to tell them meet the right Filipina, but a lot of times I do understand. You get into that situation, you start a relationship, and then it kind of snowballs. It kind of like you can't feel like you have no way out, and then I have seen that. I have seen that scenario. My name is Brett. Got the great Brett. All right, Brett. All right. Now I will call you Brett. I'll try to remember that. I usually have like my little iPad with the people's call sign, or their handle on YouTube, and I have a name, but I'm just getting back to the normal routine here. So I'm not to my normal setup here yet. I'll get there though. I'll get there, but I'll try to remember. Brett. That's a huge house. Lucky housekeepers are cheap in the Philippines. Yes. I have seen many big houses here in the Philippines, and even here, like New Washington seems to be a place where I've seen many many good sized home or along the seawall. When I drive along the seawall, like on the way taking home my friends yesterday to New Washington, we were just amazed. We're looking, I'm driving, I'm looking at the ocean and on the seawall there, big houses. I mean, new. You can tell they're like newly built homes. I collect knives. The best ones still are the ones from CPM based on the properties you want, like edge, retention. Ooh, wow. Those are like, sounds like fancy knives there, HD. Howdy from Texas. All right, Chrome. All right, Chrome Boxer. I have a few subscribers that watch our channel from Texas. And I lived in San Antonio, Texas. I lived there 1995 to 2000 before I went to Japan. Crucible particle. Ooh, wow, that's fancy name for CPM. It starts a steel powder. Wow. Discipline of mystical protrata. All right. A salty sailor for the U.S. Navy will have the best sea stories. Just ask a Navy vet. Yeah. Oh, I've heard them. You know, it's like when I meet like a lot of veterans here, HD, Navy, Army, you know, Marine Corps. You know, there's always stories. You know, war stories. You know, it's like the war stories. The Singapore switch. Tanya, all right. Why would it take 5 hours to open a bank account? Or was it just the lineup? 5 hours is excessive. I don't remember it taking that long. It could be many reasons, Tanya. A lot of times, the queue. I think that was one of the mistakes that my friends made because my friend, she's Filipina. She actually got her senior card in the Philippines. That was the one first mistake was the queue. She should have showed her senior card to the guard and tell them that I'm senior. Because when you go to a bank, senior, PWD is the other one, person with the disability, get priority. So usually the guard has like two sets of numbers, the regular queue and the senior and PWD, separate sets of numbers. And usually the guard will go through the senior and PW first until he runs out, then go to the other queue. That's the first mistake I think they made. She got into the regular queue. And the banks here, unfortunately, depending on what time of the day, usually when they open, you know, a lot of people go to the bank when they open at 9. Before the bank even opens, like I know for my bank, it's the same. I have two banks, a bank with Philippine National Bank and a bank with Banco de Oro. The bank is not even open yet, and there's a line outside already to go inside the bank to get a number. And if you go, depending on what time of the day you come in, before when I didn't have my PWD card, now it's easy for me to get in and out of the bank because I have priority now. But before I got my PWD card, it was not uncommon for me to go in there and I would be number 25 or number 30 in the queue. Before I can even see anyone, I'm number 25 or 30. So, and then here in the Philippines, when they open you an account, it's never like, I just remember in the US when you open an account or you're at the DMV or they're in front of a computer, right? And then they're asking you, give me your ID. And then they're typing on the computer. They're like punching all your information in the computer. Here in the Philippines, when you come in, the guard will hand you this paper. If you tell the guard, I'm opening a bank account, he will hand you this piece of paper and it could be 4 pages long. You got to put your name in this like tiny little box. You're trying to fit your name in it. Usually it doesn't fit. Your handwriting stuff, your name, your address, your cell number, your email, your employer, lots of information in this paper that you're filling out. Of course, you're not going to be able to fill it out correctly. Who does? Usually it's like, man, I don't know what to put in here. So you leave it blank. And then you have to wait with your form. And then when the person calls you to open the account, you'll sit there and they'll look at the account. Then they'll start asking you, what's this? What's this? Oh, this is wrong. You filled that you're not supposed to write that there. Just before you, and then when it's time for them to input the information, they're just not fast. They just don't go fast inputting the information. And then a lot of times, once they get all the information inputted, there's something that happens, like I need the manager to certify. I need to. It's always something, and then all of a sudden, somebody will come with a big deposit. Those guys carrying the big deposit, and whoever's helping you have to assist. So there's stuff that happens here in the bank that you're just gonna go. You spend time there. Like I know before I became PWD, if I had to make a deposit of a check. Like I usually write a check to issue in my dollar account, like a checking account, my U.S. bank account. I write a check. I have to deposit the check. Simple deposit. That's all the transaction I want to do. If without my PWD card, minimum that used to take me 2 hours, because I have to be in the queue again. And then it seems like another thing I noticed, the queue, right? The queue for regular. Everybody seems to be senior in PWD. I guess because Filipinos know that they get priority. If you're senior, they get Lola to come with them, or they get somebody with a senior card. So that senior card that the guard has to go through first, it's long. So, and they won't get to the regular line until they hit that PW. So it could take a long time. And again, my friend, I told her that next time, show your card, show your senior card, use that. I wouldn't eat bacho or anything hot soup on a hot day. Yes, that's how that's the same way I am, Tanya. If it was raining that day in Iloilo, I'd be like, hell, I want some bachoy. But it was just, man, it was hot. It's hot during the day, hot on my walk when I'm doing my morning walk. So I really didn't feel like eating. But one of these days, there's actually a bok choy shop here that I've filmed before. It's in the playlist. Like I think it's in our Numancia playlist. But it's like the local bok choy place. Temax is the place here. It's a mom and pop bok choy place. It's hot. Hey, halo now. I could have hit halo, man. When it's hot, man. I'm all about halo when it's hot. Made the chat today. Yes, it's been a while. Hello from Peanut Butter Travels. All right, San Antonio, Texas. Man, I got great memories of I love my time in San Antonio, Texas. Probably, I would say that's probably the most enjoyable city I lived in the United States. San Antonio, Texas. My 5 years there was a lot of fun because the River Walk, we had many parties at the River Walk, like going away parties, retirement parties, promotion parties. It was always celebrated at the River Walk. Great restaurants, great, amazing Tex-Mex food. It's like, to me, one of the top food in the United States is Tex-Mex food. And then during my time there, the Alamo Dome, the Spurs were still playing at the Alamo Dome, and we used to be able to get tickets at our MWR, Morale Recreation on Base. They would have cheap tickets, or sometimes free to go watch the games at the Alamo Dome. Just a fun time. I remember that was a good time in my life. San Antonio is an amazing city. I love that city. I still have friends there. They're still there. I know my friend Phil, my friend Lorena. A lot of my friends are still there in San Antonio. DC, my friend DC. HD. I work in a machine shop, and we almost exclusively work with German stainless steel. It's head and shoulders above any other stainless. Cool, cool then. The heart of our home. Living here is great when you are young. So much to explore. I found life there more convenient, even if less luxurious. I'd still rather be there. We can afford hire a helper, not here. Yes, that you can do. I mean, here in Calibo, even the maid here, the live-in maid in Calibo, I know some of my friends pay between 7,000 to 8,000 pesos for a live-in maid. You know, so that's maybe 150, $150. You know, but it's live-in. You have to provide housing and food. That's like the going rate that of my friends having live-in maids here in Calibo. But very reasonable. I mean, you know, it's like 7,000, 8,000 pesos a month. You know, that's nothing. We pay $20+ per hour to what I know. I remember. I know that's a big expense for people in the U.S. was child care or daycare. Daycare. Magandang umaga, Olson. Good day, everyone. Good day. All right, Olson. JP, I bet not all stainless steel are the same. The steel properties also differ based on the heat treatment. Different heating steel into. All right. Andreas N. Hello from another Germany. Wow. A lot of people. 3 people today from Germany. That's awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining the live stream this morning. Testing performance show the graph. Spend a week. Make sure the Pinay from Panay looks. Yes. And I usually do, you know, it's like if people like reach out to me, I become friends. Like I know Daniel's gonna be a friend. You know, of course I would watch out for them. You know, if I notice something, if they tell me something that's happening with the Filipina that they meet, you know, I just kind of give them a heads up. Maybe it's not a good situation, but you know, I of course would never interfere with anybody's relationship. I wouldn't mess people's relationship, but I always feel like, you know, if I notice something that doesn't sound right, you know, and sometimes I know people don't want to hear it, you know, but I just try to be kind and honest. You know, I've had friends that, you know, I can tell that it affected the relationship a little bit when I tell them, but in the end they realize that what I said was true because they're not with the Filipina anymore. A lot of times, you know, I always kind of like, well, you know, I don't know if that's a good thing, you know, when I say it. And then, okay, well, it's up to you, brother. You know, you're the one that's gonna, you know, be in a relationship. And then later down the road, they'll tell me, oh man, I should have listened to you, Ginno. You know, they'll tell me I should have listened to you. But you know, and I understand that. I totally understand because, you know, relationships are never easy anyway. I don't matter if you're, you know, it's especially when you're in the dating phase, getting to know phase. You're 2 different cultures. You're an American, you're a Filipina. You know, it's like there's a lot there to like a lot going on in the beginning of a relationship. A lot of dynamic that are cultures clashing. You know, it's like Filipinas. You know, one thing I always tell people here, when you date a Filipina here in the Philippines, there is no casual dating here. It's not like in the US. You can date an American on a Monday, date another American on a Friday. That is allowed, like, because it's just a date. You just went out on, you just invited somebody to the movies on a Monday. You watch movies together. You had fun. Hey, call you when I call you. And then Friday you meet somebody else to dinner. It's all casual dating. Here in the Philippines, I don't think, you know, maybe some will say, maybe in BGC, because they have a more modern view on things, that people living in BGC, maybe in Cebu, maybe because it's a city. But here in the province, man, when you date somebody here, by the second date, usually, that Filipinas thinking you guys are it. you guys are partner already. So I always tell people, take your time, even before that first date, before that first ask, before you ask on that first date. Um, Things happen here quick, and the expectation is, if you're dating me alone. You're not dating anybody else. I know that's a little different from dating in the US, because the dating in the US, and unless you put a ring on it, that's always the thing. Yeah, I don't have a ring on it. You're not a fiance. You're not. You're allowed to still date. But here in the Philippines, the minute you date a Filipina, usually that Filipina is telling her friends, "Oh, I met my boyfriend. Me and him are gonna have kids." I mean, it goes fast. It goes fast when it comes to relationship. That's why I always tell people, take your time. Take your time. Be friends first. Just have a lot of expats here, a lot of expats with partners already. A lot of their partner, like Filipina partners, will have friends. You can meet expats. There's places in Boracay, expat hangouts like Nigi Nigi. You can go to Levantin. There's a lot of expat hangouts where there's single Filipinas there. But like I said, before you make that move, be friends with everybody first. Before you like select the person, get to know people first. Don't be too quick to ask that first date to go out, because the minute you go out on a first date, especially if you go on a second date, that Filipino is going to start expecting something. Vietnamese for the hot days. Oh, I've never tried that. I haven't tried Vietnamese che. I have seen there's a Vietnamese restaurant in Balete. I always pass it when I'm passing through Balete, Aklan, on the way back to our Numancia here. I always see a Vietnamese cafe right along the highway. I might have to stop there one of these days and try the Vietnamese che. I've never tried it. Never tried the Vietnamese che before. Not many Vietnamese restaurants. I do not know of a Vietnamese restaurant in Calibo. I do know, like, one time we ate pho, or how they pronounce it, Vietnamese food over by Habuan Weaving. There's a restaurant that serves it, but it's not a full-on Vietnamese restaurant. They just have it on the menu. But even in Boracay, oh yeah, there is now in Boracay. I did see Boracay does have a Vietnamese cafe now, Vietnamese restaurant, but I haven't tried it yet. There's one going to Bulabo Beach now, recently opened. But I have NDAs. Oh, all right. Me, R.I.P. Mimi said, hello, R.I.P. Mimi. I want to open Vietnamese sandwich, banh mi, and Vietnamese che cart. Hey, you might be successful. I know Filipinos are familiar with banh mi. I know. I like banh mi sandwiches. And there's plenty of foreigners here that would know what a banh mi is. But Filipinos might be a little stretch. It's like Filipinos like rice. That bread. Kind of like the French bread that's kind of thick and hard. Not a thing with Filipinos. It's like Filipinos prefer anything rice. So just an idea. But the halo-halo might be a hit. The Vietnamese halo-halo, that might be a hit, because a different version of halo-halo. You'll have competition because halo-halo is very popular here in our province. Manny, hey, what's up, Manny? What's up? I got to Manny and his wife Sharon took Dazzle and I to dinner in Iloilo City. While we were there, we had dinner with them near their condo at the Festive Walk. We love lining up here. We love lining up. That's funny, Manny. Hey man, it's like, it's part of life. Standing in line in the Philippines is part of life here. For me, it's made it easier. The PWD thing, it's really like I don't have to line anymore. Even at Jollibee, McDonald's, the bank, they got priority. That's one thing nice. It's like, if you're a senior and you got the Filipino senior card or the PWD card that I have, it's like it's really nice. I mean, I don't have to like stand much now in long lines. Not like it used to be. It saves me time now. But it was nice. It was nice hanging out, man. It was funny because Manny, Sharon, and then my, Dazzle and I, we were like having the minute we sat down, we were just like so engrossed in our conversation. We were having fun. We forgot to take even a selfie. We didn't have a picture together, but I think we had a picture before, Manny. That's probably why we didn't think about taking a picture. But I'm sure we'll see each other again. Once you guys move into your new house and everything in Iloilo City, man. And I'll be back there for sure in October, my next MRI in October. So I'm sure I'll see you guys again. Do Filipinos accommodate persons with disability, PWD, who are not Filipino citizens? I'm wondering if foreigners need to have any specific documents or requirements to be accommodated. All right, that's gonna be tricky because the senior card I know is only for Filipinos. That I'm guaranteed. It's like some foreigners get the discount sometimes, without even showing. But they warn foreigners about that, especially people on the SRRV visa, retirement visa. Only Filipino citizens are supposed to get the senior discount here. Now, PWD, that might be different. I'll have to do research on that. I have a PWD card, like it's issued by the government here. It says I'm PWD. So as far as a foreigner, I would have to check. I don't want to say either way. But if I had to guess, they are big now on trying to put more handicap access. I know the Philippines is just not good with that. I always tell people like when they come here, if they're in a wheelchair, that's a big issue here in the Philippines because very limited places where they would have handicap access even to a building or even to like a mall. Maybe in BGC, maybe in Cebu City. But in the province, there's no such thing. It's like here in Calibo, I have not seen it. I mean, our sidewalks here are terrible. It's like, it's just not built. The Philippines is just not built for people with disabilities, unfortunately. Go do everything around 2 p.m., the hottest part of the day, most people home napping. Yes, Edgar. I have learned that before when I didn't have my PWD card. When I had to like anything with the land transportation office or like registering Bumblebee, actually I have to renew my registration on Bumblebee. We always go around 2 p.m. We don't go first thing in the morning. That's the worst time. If an agency opens at 9 or they open at 8 or 9, if they open at 8 or 9 and you're there at 8 or 9, expect a long line. Expect a massive amount of people. It's usually after lunch is the best time. After 2 p.m., 3 p.m., or if they close at 4 or 5, close to like the day ending. But even that sometimes, even because they have so many people that go through like the land transportation for driver's license, vehicle registration, sometimes it doesn't matter if you're going after it. It's just a government agency. They're just not efficient here. That's the thing, and then worst that happens a lot of times, they'll system down. Their computer system that's offline or system down, and when that happens, forget it. Just go home that day, man. It's like you're not gonna get service that day when that happens. Again, there's a lot here as far as inefficiencies. A lot. It will test your patience. There's things here that will test. Like at the bank, my friend, that took 5 hours. It could be that it went offline. The bank system often goes offline. Like even the ATMs go offline. There's a blue sign that they always put. It says offline, and I would say 50% of the time I go to an ATM in Calibo, it has the offline sign. It's like, that's why when the offline sign is not there, I take as much money as I can because I know who they got money. I can access my money. You know, it's like offline in the provinces. It's a common term in the provinces is offline. All right, HD. All right. Thank you, brother. Take care. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Edgar Deem is a tried and true strategy to survive the heat. To survive the heat. HD, good luck. All right, good luck. Atoke Abidemi. Hello, hello, hello. All right, thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the hearts. Peanut butter, howdy from Austin. All right, Austin. I used to go to Austin, you know, when I lived in San Antonio, like the first 2 years, I lived in Live Oak, you know, headed towards there to I-35 going to Austin, and then I moved over to the base housing at Brooks Air Force Base. My good friend Gray. Hey Gray, what's up? What's up? Would you say chili oil mixed with a little vinegar and soy sauce is a nice dipping sauce for grilled squid? Oh yeah, that's what I would do. I mean, vinegar and soy sauce, that's kind of like the mixture for adobo in the Philippines. You know, usually it's like fresh garlic, soy sauce, and vinegar. That's like the main ingredient for adobo. And they do adobo on everything, including squid. I know even Dazzle, that's one of her favorite dishes, adobo squid. And the chili oil, I like the heat too. That's why I like that, you know, a little bit of chili oil to add some heat. Usually it's either chili oil or they give you that little red chili pepper that you slice and then you put on your little saucer. But that's always good sauce for anything, like anything grilled, grilled fish, grilled squid, chicken, even Mang Inasal has the same version of sauce. Follow up. Would you ever steal another cinnamon roll? Hey, my friend Gray, he always gives me a hard time because when we were in Boracay, he had gotten the cinnamon roll. I think it was at Starbucks, and it accidentally made its way to our bags, the Dazzle and I's bag. So it ended up in our Airbnb. So I was like, in the morning, I was like, well, I got the cinnamon bun, you know. I guess, you know, so I ate it, you know. So Gray always gives me a hard time that I ate his cinnamon roll. Good AM, Ginno. Welcome back to Numancia. All right. Thank you for it. It's good to be back. It was good to be back. I mean, last night I slept really well. I think I was asleep by 7. I was so tired, you know, driving home. It was about 4-hour drive because we stopped at that area in Iloilo right before you cross over to Capiz. They had all those pineapples, like fresh pineapples. I'll show you guys. Like, we got like a box of this. We got like 4 of these giant pineapples, and we paid, I think Nova paid like 200 pesos for like 5 of these. So 40 pesos each, about 75 US cents for this, and it's ripe. You can smell it's like ripe already. So Dazzle, I think she was gonna make pineapple chicken today. I don't know if that's gonna be part of their cooking show, but that's on the menu today. Dazzle said they were gonna make pineapple chicken. There's a place in Iloilo City on the way home to Aklan. It's like several pineapple vendors, like stores that right on the highway, right? You can't miss it. There's so many of them that sell pineapple juice. Make sure, yeah, JP said, make sure the Filipino knows fishing, loves fishing. All right, man. Brett, the girl. Cebu is a budget airline. You can purchase extra baggage allowance. You can also Dupa. Yes, that's yeah. Thank you, Fortune. That's what I said because like I knew when my friend Gray when he traveled to from Thailand to the Philippines to Boracay, he had a lot of luggage, heavy luggage too. He had to pay extra. Fortune Gray or typical dipping sauce for Ilonggos for grilled stuff is 60 Sinamak. Yeah, Sinamak is like a spicy vinegar with usually with the pepper, the red or green pepper, and then they put garlic and onions on it. Flavored. It's like a flavored spicy vinegar. You always see it in the on the restaurants. There's a bottle and it's a vinegar bottle, but it's like there's a lot of stuff inside the bottle. I like that. I like vinegar. Went to your fishing. I saw that JB that James and Karen went to they went to fishing at the Luola's fish. Oh, we watched the video. We watched the video. Cebu is almost like Manila. Traffic congestion, not as clean. Big city. Yeah, that's why when people contact me and they ask for my opinion, where if there a lot of times there's a lot. I guess there's a lot of vloggers in Cebu City. That's why people look to Cebu City as far as place to land in the Philippines. I always steer them to Iloilo City because I think for a soft landing, I think it's better. Iloilo City is just better, less congestion, and the Ilonggos are like the nicest people you'll meet. No, I'm not from Iloilo City. Actually, I grew up in Manila. I left Manila when I was 12, moved to the United States. I went to Long Beach, California, and then I graduated high school in Long Beach, California, and then joined the military, United States Air Force, for 20 years in the United States. Then came back here to the Philippines when I was 45, living on my military pension alone. And I'll be in a couple of weeks, I'll be 59. So I've been here, 14 years now. Happily retired here in the Philippines. Just enjoying life in the Philippines. A Vietnamese baguette with some pate, grilled pork, pickled carrots, and daikon radish, cilantro. Pure. I know. I know. Great. I love banh mi. It's like I like that combination of that French bread, the baguette, and the veggies. I like that combination. Another province in Panay Island, the north of Iloilo, in there. Yep. Thank you, Fortune. Ateneo de Iloilo is in a 10-hectare park. They bought from our cousins, the Pison family. The Pison donated the other, so the Pisons can send. Oh, nice. I didn't know that. I mean, it's amazing. It's like I haven't been inside the Ateneo de Manila, the Iloilo, but from the outside, it's an amazing facility. You can tell it's like a top-notch facility. Hey, yo, John. Yo. Hey, yo, John. What's up? All right. Good morning. Ateneo de Iloilo was originally Santa Maria Catholic School, Filipino Chinese school, hence the Mandarin classes. All right. Thank you for that history lesson, man. I knew about the Mandarin. I know somebody had mentioned, but I did not know that they used to be called the Santa Maria Catholic School. Thank you, Fortune. Good information to know. Then Ateneo converted it to Ateneo de Iloilo, but this location is the Pison land is new. I mean, it's in a great location. I mean, you're right there in the heart of Manduria, heart of like the main development in Iloilo City. I mean, from the Avida Towers, it's like 50 meters away. It's walking distance. Like my friends from Vermont, that's where they're staying at Avida Towers. So their kid can just walk to school. You know, I mean, how convenient is that? And then right there, when you walk around outside of Ateneo de Iloilo, you got Qualimed hospitals there. The Atria is like a mall area with restaurants, with shops. You got Jollibee there. You got McDonald's there. You got SNR within all walking distance from Ateneo de Iloilo. So it's a great area of Iloilo City. The original Santa Maria Catholic School was in the city. Oh, okay. All right. Oh man, that's awesome information. I didn't know that. I didn't know, man. I didn't know all that. That's amazing. I love history. Anything history, I love, man. That's awesome to know. Hey, I want some pineapple now. I'm because hey, all right, hey, I mean, the pineapples in Iloilo, they're famous here in Panay Island. It's like that's whenever every time we pass that area in Iloilo, we always buy pineapple because they're so cheap, man. It's like, you know, that's like 75 cents for a whole fresh pineapple. You know, it's like amazing price. Pineapple chicken. Oh yeah, it's good. Dazzle knows how to cook pineapple chicken, man. She uses all the juice out of that pineapple, squeeze all the juice out of it, and some of the meat too. Some of the meat, the pulp or whatever they call that, inside of the pineapple, and cooks it, marinates the chicken a little bit for more taste, marinates a little bit on the pineapple. Really good. I like Dazzle makes good pineapple chicken. Also has the regional campus for Western Visayas of the Philippine Science, the best high school. All right, all right. Well, I think my next few videos, I talked a little bit about education in Iloilo City. I know in the Philippines, medical school and nursing school, the ones in Iloilo is top notch. There's foreigners that come here to the Philippines to study medicine and nursing in Iloilo City because they always score high when they have the licensure exams for being a doctor and also the nursing licensure exam. The schools in Iloilo are always in the top 10, if not number 1. They score really well. So a lot of, I know there's a lot of foreign students from all over the world that study medicine in Iloilo City. Good morning, Balikbayan guy. Hey John, what's up? What's up? Kumusta? Mabuti ako, kaibigan. Glad to see you home. We just had a power outage here. No storms, lasted 2 hours. We're good now. All right. I know we haven't had any power outages here. Since we've gotten back from Boracay. But I always hook up this live stream to my Blue Yeti just to be safe, because what happens if I lose you guys, it might not even save the live stream, so no replay. So that's why I always hook up the live stream to our Blue Yeti power station. You can get them here for Lazada. You can even get them now. When I bought ours, it was over 20,000 pesos. But now I've seen them as low as 15,000 pesos for a Blue Yeti power station. What's the most hot sauce that you have tried? Just regular hot sauce. I don't see many habanero or even the ghost pepper, all that. I'm probably SNR might have it, but I'm not really big on hot. I mean, I used to love it. I used to love really spicy food, but since after my cancer treatments, unfortunately, my taste buds are different. I can't handle like really strong, spicy food anymore. Yeah, I think Filipino would like that, especially with barbecue grill. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's like perfect. Perfect for anything barbecue is that sauce. So like vinegar, soy sauce, chili oil. Man, that's good. Hi everyone. Hey, all right. Ginno, thanks for joining my live the other day. It was just a quick, yeah, no, man, no worries, man. I was like, man, you were flying on that tricycle, and it was a long ride. That's why I asked you, man. It's like, how much was the fare? And it was like, man, it looks like you were like traveling a long distance on that tricycle. Here, they don't travel that far. Here in our province, I have seen Dazzle ride the tricycle from Calibo all the way here to our house, but that's only 5 kilometers. And I was looking at the tricycle ride you were riding, John. That was a long ride, man. And he was flying. He was going fast. Our tricycles don't go that fast. He was like a speed demon, man. He was a speed demon on that tricycle. It also has very good schools for women like Assumption, St. Paul. The universities are also great with University of San Agustin. Yeah, I think San Agustin is where Manny, my friend Manny, he sends his kids there, high school and college. And Manny's retired Air Force like me, and so is his wife, retired military. They're both military, U.S. military retired people here in Iloilo. And they're sending their kids high school and college here in Iloilo City. That's why I said, many people always like kind of talk down on education in the Philippines, but I think they just are not doing their research. I think there are some not good schools here. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to lie. There's areas in the Philippines that are behind in schooling, provinces especially. But if you want to send your kid to a good top-notch school in the Philippines, comparable to schools in the U.S., better, if not better, Iloilo's got some good schools. Iloilo City's got some good schools. They will not be behind if they graduate high school, they graduate college in the Philippines from Iloilo City. Some of the universities, they will be well educated. And one thing I can guarantee you, they will be more well behaved and kinder people than some of the stuff that if you graduate in the US. Because like I said, man, if I had a kid and I would compare public school in the US to like Ateneo, private school in Iloilo City, I would pick the private school in Iloilo City. They got classes and mannerism. They respect the flag. They pledge allegiance to the flag of the Philippines. The kids just are more behaved, more disciplined. They respect their elders. I know when I went to high school in the U.S., man, those kids were rough. And that was like what? That was in the 80s. That's like 30 years ago. I can't imagine now how the kids are in the U.S., man. Love this. I will look for this. All right, all right. Grilled lechon. Sounds magnificent. Sinamak is the Ilonggo vinegar. Yeah, they have that. We have that fortune. Like they sell Sinamak in the grocery stores here in Calibo. Very popular. Sinamak is very popular. Yeah, it won't work from Yeah. I see that. Without the sinamak, the sinamak adds like that bite. That vinegar adds a little bite to like everything you eat. Pharmacy program is really popular and recommended in the U.S. Oh, thanks, great. Yeah. Like I said, man. It's like, and then like you won't have all that school debt. That's the main thing. If you study nursing or you study medical school here in the Philippines, pharmacy school, you won't have that big debt that you would accumulate if you studied in the U.S. You don't need all those student loans. Like a nursing student here will run you about, in Iloilo City, run you about $2,000 a year on tuition. So you can graduate on tuition alone, $8,000 for 4 years of nursing school. Man, that's a bargain. I know you can't get that in the U.S. That might pay for maybe 1 year in the U.S., maybe a semester in the U.S. And most of the nurses of the world anyway is Filipino. So it's not like because you graduated in Iloilo City, you would be behind. It's like foreign companies all over the world, Japan, Korea, Germany, Norway, they hire Filipinas, because of the reputation of Filipina nurses. Fortune, yesterday in Bacoor, where I live, we got rain in the morning only, and the whole day. Yes, so far here, man, no rain. It didn't rain last night. It is warm right now. I mean, I'm thinking it's close to 90 degrees outside. It is like the sun is sunny and bright today. Oh, we are back from. I know. I saw that. I saw the goodbyes that you had from your people that you stayed with in New York. Obi, Olsen, Aliyah, and Isaiah. Glad that you and are home safe. Yes. No plans for this weekend too. We're just gonna rest up from the. It was a busy week. Probably fishing involved. I'm sure. Leanna, she didn't get to go fishing. It was a weekday. She had school. Would not surprise me if Leanna wants to go fishing with mom and Dazzle either Saturday or Sunday, or even maybe today. They're all still sleeping, but would not surprise me if they went fishing today. Mabuhay power, mabuhay, my friend. I have become a fan of Frank's hot sauce. Just a nice mixture of pepper. Spring roll. For me, great for like the lumpia. For the lumpia, I use two different sauces for the lumpia. I like the sinamak, anything spicy vinegar I like on my lumpia. And then my second choice would be sweet and sour sauce. They make their own sweet. But my preference always is the spicy vinegar. But I don't put the soy sauce in. I just like the sinamak vinegar on its own. I don't mix anything with it. Soccer. I played a little bit of soccer when I was younger, but no, I'm not a big fan of soccer anymore. The trike ride cost us $5 for the three of us. Yeah. He used to be the guy, we call him B-Boy. B-Boy, man. B-Boy, the speed demon. I don't have, but I will get back to you. We'll ask one of our ates who can make one. All right. Thank you. All right, I got to the end here. That's all right. I have one ate who used to be a food vendor in the Divisoria market. If you guys know Divisoria, this is famous market in Condo. She cooks well. Oh yes, I know all about Divisoria. My mom, when she was before we went to the U.S., my mom used to be a dressmaker, a seamstress. That was kind of like my mom and my aunties. That was my mom's business here in the Philippines. She used to make dresses, pretty much any type of textile she would make into something, and she used to sell them. We used to have a stall in Divisoria, and we also had a stall in Baclaran. That's how my mom made her money back in the day here in the Philippines. It's not too popular compared to basketball, but many play, and it's called football here. Yeah, that's the thing. Basketball is what's popular here in the Philippines. I do see some soccer player once in a while, but like here in our province, not many. I know one of our nephews, Needs. He's 12 years old, and he's on a soccer team in Katiklan, but here in Calibo, I haven't seen anybody play soccer in Calibo. Mostly basketball. I'm listening. Is she adopting? That's funny. Fortune, I would have thought it would be called soccer more, as follows U.S. naming conventions. Yeah, even like the World Cup, when they have the World Cup of soccer, when that's played, it doesn't make big news in the Philippines. Not a big following of soccer in the Philippines. A lot of expats I know follow soccer, Like if you go to the sports bars and things like that, you see a lot of expats watching soccer. But Filipinos, it's all about basketball for Filipinos. Asia is more football. All right, all right. All right, I've gotten over 2 hours here now. I'm gonna end the live stream here. Thank you everyone for joining the live stream. I appreciate your continued support. I'm gonna head out now because I gotta go to the Casa Española apartments to check on an apartment for a friend of mine in Arizona. Again, thank you everyone. And also, please keep your prayers for the people that suffered the flooding, the families affected the flooding in Texas. If you can add them to your prayers. Grayson, all right. Football, JB. Bye. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Everybody, have a good day. All right, JP. All right. Take care. Take care, everyone. Stay blessed, everyone.